I don't know how to start it. I'll just start it.
This is David.
And this is Essie. So our story starts out when we got married on November 7th in 2020, and everything was going great. We were excited and we're really looking forward to starting a family. And pretty quickly things moved along, and a little over a month into our marriage we found out that we were pregnant. But at the same time, we found out that things weren't so good and that we were having a chemical miscarriage, at the 5-week mark. So that kind of put a damper on how things went right away. But we were hopeful, it all went well, and the doctor said that we should have no trouble getting pregnant again.
So we just kind of waited, and we did a lot of traveling, and really, most people told us, wait a whole year, you probably won't get pregnant, so we weren't too surprised. And then in July, rolled around near my brother's wedding, and we found out we were expecting again. So 5-week mark, everything seemed way more normal compared to the first time around, and felt great, typical pregnancy symptoms. So we surprised our families. It was like a really
Everybody
big
was
deal.
really happy.
First grandbaby on David's
Yeah.
side, and we were just thrilled. We didn't even have not much of a concern thinking we'd have any issues again. And so then we called the doctor, set up our first prenatal, and they told us to come in around 9 weeks, and we'd get to hear the heartbeat and just get checked out, get on their schedule. So from there, we went in, and I was feeling still super nauseous, really tired, and all the friends I knew told me, oh, well, if you have those symptoms, it's normally signs of really good pregnancy, no worries, like, at all. It's when you don't have that you can be concerned. So we kind of went from there.
Did all the paperwork.
Ask us all those
questions.
Are you a smoker? Do you drink?
No drinking and smoking.
So anyways, we just went in, and the doctor was going to do a ultrasound, and they had a machine in the office. It was not super great quality.
Right.
And she tried the Doppler first, and of course at 9 weeks it's not abnormal to not find a heartbeat. So
We weren't too concerned at that point.
Yeah, we were like, that's not a big deal. It doesn't really worry me at all. So I'm laying on the table, and she gets her little machine out, and David comes over, like, get your phone out. We were so excited, get a little picture of the ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts looking around, and I could tell, like, where the baby was kind of a little bit. It was pretty fuzzy. And she's really quiet, and on top of it, she has, like, 2 interns in there, another lady, and David, our first visit, and she's just real quiet. She keeps searching, and so, of course, I've never been in for a prenatal, so I didn't know if that was normal or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, what did she say? She just kind of was...
Said, well, I'm basically sorry.
I'm not
This doesn't look
finding a heartbeat. And
Yeah.
she said something like, well, here's the baby, and she kind of pointed it out to us, and she's like,
Showed us
well, the baby's not even moving, there's no heartbeat, and I just have to tell you, your baby stopped growing. I'm sorry, I don't know why, there didn't seem anything wrong, but you should, in the next probably couple days, you're gonna start having miscarriage symptoms, and don't be surprised, it's probably gonna be pretty traumatic, and
It was
just
a
wait it out.
complete shock at that point, because we had been so positive and optimistic that it was going well, and
Right.
that was the last thing we expected to hear at the first visit. And so
Of course, I
That
started
was
crying. I'm just
emotional
like
moment.
emotionally like, is this really happening to us? Like I was still feeling so early pregnancy symptoms, so sick. So we got home and processed it some more, called our families, told them to be praying, because we just thought, is there a miracle? So during that time we did some blood work. We had done blood work the week before, and then when we went in for our first prenatal, she did more blood work, and she said, this will confirm. If your numbers are lower, then for sure you are miscarrying. So
went in, got pricked, got the blood, and the results came back, and it showed that the HCG had fallen, not much, but that it had gone down. And so that seemed conclusive to the doctor that that what she'd seen on the ultrasound was that we'd have an expected miscarriage later on.
So she sent us this whole paper on miscarriages and what to expect, and she said 2 to 6 weeks, but she thought for sure within a week. So during that time, we really just grieved, and so many friends reached out and said they were praying for us, and we did really feel comfort of the Holy Spirit, and just knowing that we found out we were pregnant, we really did commit our baby to the Lord and knew that it was His from the start, and so we just going through the emotions.
So we finally went in, and the OB was going to look and see kind of what our options were. make
A
sure
second doctor.
an infection didn't
Not the same
didn't
one.
start to set in, and
Probably
so
D&C is what our original doctor told
that's
us.
what we kind of expected. We didn't want to go there, but
Right.
at this point we didn't know what our options were. So we went to the ultrasound technician, and of course she doesn't know our story, so she just goes in to check it for the doctor. And she's very casual, and
I'm laying on the table and I'm like, okay, this
Goes
is
to
a sad
check.
day. We know what's gonna happen. We know we have to make a decision today. And as soon as she stuck it on my stomach, I was like, noticed on the screen, I thought, wow, that's a way better machine. Like the baby's big. Like I could tell it had arms,
looked
and
really clear.
legs, and a nose. It was really clear. I thought, well, whatever, better machine or something. And so David's kind of doing some work. It was work hours, so he came with me, and she's like, just as nonchalantly something. She's like, well, there's the heartbeat, and I was like, did you say heartbeat? She's like, well, yeah, this baby's 12 weeks, and I'm David, and we're like, whoa, is
Come
this
over,
really
like,
happening? Like, are you
what?
sure this is our baby on the screen? And so we're like, wait, we have to tell you our story. Like, our baby was supposedly
This isn't
dead.
supposed to be what we're here for.
So we're still like, whoa, processing. And so we kind of told her a little bit. And so that made her really excited. And she turned on the little sound. And we got to hear the heartbeat.
Oh my goodness.
And it was
You
just
hear it,
like
thump, 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 thump,
really
thump, thump.
amazing. And then
That's an
it
incredible
moved.
moment.
We saw the baby move. And we could see its
Mhm.
little hands and its nose and its feet. And it was just so like a miracle. It was like we were living a dream for
Mhm.
the
time-
whole week, I guess, after.
We decided to name the baby, and this was the day before we went in for the ultrasound and to figure out what our next step was. And we came up with, after praying about it and hearing about how many other people were praying for us, and we didn't understand, and we even said, why would this happen to us? And you ask God, why does this happen? And ultimately, we had to have faith that God is a good God, that He is a loving God. And so we were encouraged by family to give the baby a name, and it just seemed like the perfect name to name it Faith. And so we did that. We let our families know that night. And so the next day, when we find out there is a heartbeat and everything looks healthy and it's grown to the 12 weeks, it was just an incredible moment to see that, God doesn't have to answer prayer. He doesn't have to make the end of the story turn out like that. But obviously, He has very special purpose in that, in building our faith and building the faith of those who heard this. And so it was an incredible moment. We were so excited. And we're looking forward to seeing what God has in store for this little life that He's entrusted to us, and just the lessons that He will teach us
Right.
through the gift of this baby.
Right.
So that's our story.
So.